Hello everyone, so in a special Final Fantasy video, we have the 3 emissaries of Ardor V for your affection. So in this Valentine's beginning of the event, we have a new quest, and before I get too far into it, right now the beginning part of it is for a voting period, and that'll be more obvious once I start the quests, and it starts today, Wednesday, January 29th, and ends Sunday, February 9th. Note the time. And then the results from it, and we'll see the actual Valentine's event the results of this voting period will be from Sunday, February 9th to Monday, February 17th. And on the 9th, it starts immediately after the voting period ends. Or, well, the next minute, anyway. And by then, the voting should pretty much be clear as to who will win. And that'll be, again, more obvious once I actually get into this. And so, as you can see, or you may not realize, that I'm in New Britannia by Mikito's Amphitheater. And the only requirement of this is level 15, and you must have the Must Be Pirates main scenario quest completed, as per usual with most of these events. So without further ado, here I get into it. Lisette de Valentione, or however you want to say her name. We'll just call her Lisette. Anyway, Lisette has returned to share the ardor and affection of House Valentine with lovelorn Eorzeans the realm over. My love burns brighter than the sun and deeper than the sea. Gladly would I share it with thee, and ooh, most definitely thee. The merest glance into your eyes tells me that you are a woman within whom passion runs deep. Might you be willing to serve me in my sworn quest to bring true love to pining hearts across Eorzea? Lovely. Without further ado, allow me to explain my plight. As it were, I had a mind to entrust the primary duties as emissary of Ardor this year to my dearest sister Astrid. Why, if she were to rise to the challenge and prove herself my equal, just think of the unbounded love we might spread o'er the realm together. And yet, I fear my best laid plans have already begun to go awry. Upon hearing of my decision, 2 of my esteemed colleagues took umbrage, believing that I was playing favorites. How could I not see, they insisted, that they would be more suited for the task than my as-of-yet unseasoned sister? And so on the eve of what should be the year's paramount celebration of love and romance, we find ourselves... well, why not bear witness to this unfortunate display for yourself? Verily, these 3 are in need of outside intervention. Someone who can convince them to put their petty squabbles aside in the name of spreading love and joy as befits the season. As someone like you, my most passionate friend. What say you? I guess so? Wonderful! I knew you would never let me down. Well then, shall we? My dearest colleagues, I would hear your thoughts on a matter of utmost importance. Pray curtail your discussion and come hither for just a moment. I said stop your darn squabbling, get your worthless arses over here before I kick them from here to your this. Yeah. What? Ahem. Now where was I? Yes. My beloved friends, whatever could the illustrious Countess Arabelle think if she saw us bickering amongst ourselves like this? On the eve of the holiday honoring her most illustrious legacy, no less. And so, I would propose a solution fair for one and all. The 3 of you will each try your hand at easing the worries of a young man lost in love. The one who proves him or herself most suited for the task will be rewarded by being named High Emissary of Ardor for this year's festivities. Worry not, for it is not I who will be judging your worth. Celebrian here, an adventurer of no small renown and inimitable impartiality, will serve as arbiter for the challenge, along with the citizens of Britannia, who we have traveled here to serve, of course. Surely none of you would object to such an unbiased contest, yes? Simply think of it as an opportunity to show off your mastery in matters of love to a truly discerning audience. Leave it to me, sis, Lady Lisette. I will bring the succor of love to this man's lonely heart, and show once and for all that I am your most worthy successor. A contest you propose, and a contest it shall be. I, Bert the Beloved, shall summon the full depths of passion from my burning heart and set this young man aflame with all-consuming zeal and ardor. True love cannot be achieved by spouting simple platitudes, nor by the brute force of blind passion. I will use my surpassing knowledge of the subtleties in the heart to achieve that which the two of you could scarce begin to comprehend. Such confidence, such devotion to your duty! Why, it is enough to make a young lady swoon. Would you not agree, Celebrid? No, not really. Now then, without further ado, allow me to introduce the subject of your first trial. Recently, I was approached by a young man who spoke of his plight, thusly, quote, "How am I ever to find true love if I scarce have occasion to even encounter the fairer sex?" End quote. What? A most sad state of affairs, yes. Truly my heart goes out to the poor man, and yet surely this dark days of solitude and seclusion are over, yes? Verily, for three of the most capable and confident emissaries of ardor will now rush to his aid. Yes, there is but one small rub. The young man in question would prefer to remain anonymous. Needless to say, we must respect his wishes. He has placed his trust in us, and it simply would not do for us to trumpet his heart's deepest desires to all and sundry. I'm counting on you, dear Celebrian. Follow my dear colleagues to the man's side, witness their heartfelt efforts, and choose the one who you believe is most devoted to and capable of bringing love into his life. Now go forth to the Whistling Miller, my emissaries of ardor, and let your presence be a beacon of light to cast the shadows from his heart of this lonely young man. Should your confidence falter, remember that the Countess Arabelle is always watching over you from above. And thus we need to head this direction. And over here. And talking to Astrid here. Ah, if 'tis not my kindred spirit and ardor and affection, always amorous, ever... apologies, my friend. I fear I've not quite mastered my sister's rather distinctive manner of speech. I am Bert the Beloved, whose passion and fervor for matters of the heart are sung of the realm, nay, the world over. Like the brilliant, brightest blaze does my heart burn, that it might kindle the romantic spirit of every soul I meet. Rodgrilled at your service. Since my childhood years, I have studied the art of love with a scholarly devotion unlike any other. I dare say there is not a single love poem or amorous tale that I have not read and analyzed 100 times over. Little wonder, then, that my knowledge in the field vastly outstrips that of my peers. And in other news, interacting with the destination marker. So you must be the yearning young man of whom sister spoke. What troubles you this day? Open your sequestered heart to us, friend, and speak unto us your worries, that we might fill your lonely heart with the warmth of ardor and affection. I'm pretty sure he's like the Lancer's guildmaster, or that's what it sure looks like anyway. I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of the right person anyway. Anyway, be not shy, my good man. In matters of the heart, one must be bold, lest you live the rest of your days in the shadow of those who have the courage to claim what you do not. Now then, let us know precisely that which you struggle, that we might come to your aid. Do not let my colleagues intimidate you. Let me, Rodville Galt, know just what concerns you, and I shall use my powers of deduction to find a logical solution to your plight. Very well. I know not what I have done to deserve your services, but I accept them with gratitude. Then let us proceed, shall we? In the name of fairness and objectivity, I propose that Celebrian here carry out the questioning. No objections, I take it? Excellent! Celebrian, the subject is all yours. And so I'm just going to go in order of the questions, and the first question is, what do you do for a living? My profession? If it's all the same to you, I would rather keep the finer details to myself. But of course, it's not our intention to pry. You need only tell us as much as you feel comfortable sharing, and nothing more. Thank you. In that case, I'll just suffice to say that I perform a rather, how shall I put it, physically demanding position. As such, I spend many hours of each day training my body for the task. I'm not as wealthy as the merchants I often encounter in my duties, but I receive enough in the way of recompense to put food on the table. More than anything, I take pride in having earned the confidence of my subordinates and peers. A strong, confident type who holds a position of influence and commands the respect of many. I, for one, would say our man is a most eligible bachelor, would you not? Sure. Next question is, how do you spend your spare time? Spare time is not something I possess in abundance. With little of it I prefer to spend honing my body and mind that I might better perform my duties. Come now, my friend, surely there must be something you enjoy? A refreshing dip in a cold, clear stream? Afternoon strolls through the Twelveswood? Do not get me wrong, such activities sound pleasant enough. Most of all, though, it is serving the people that brings the most joy and fulfillment to my days. Now that's what I call commitment. What young lady could turn down such an earnest young man? Am I not right? And the last question of, what are you looking for in a partner? To be quite honest, I cannot say I've ever given much thought to the matter. Mind you, we speak not only of physical attributes. Perhaps you prefer a more matured, grounded individual. Someone who shares your tastes in food or drink? Any hint at all would be most welcome. I see, and yet, I am sorry. I fear nothing is coming to mind. After all, how am I to judge my feelings towards someone I have yet to even meet? A thoughtful and sensitive soul you are, worry not, my friend. We shall pry no further on this matter. Thank you for your candor. Thank you very much for your cooperation, Celebrian. Now, if you would just kindly wait a moment, good sir, my colleagues and I will consider your situation and endeavor to offer suitable advice. Understood, and thank you. And so the battle begins, and if either of you think I'll be showing you even the slightest mercy, you'd best think again. I beg pardon. Before we continue, there is something I would be remiss not to share with the both of you. There is one small truth that I've been concealing from you thus far. I am in fact privy to information about our client that you are not. In the interest of equity, I would share it with you. What's this? Been sneaking around behind our backs to spy on the poor man, have we? I knew there was something shifty about you from the start. It was nothing so dastardly, I assure you. When our masked man first approached Lisette and to seek counsel, I could not help but overhear some of the rumors being spread about the man. Is that so? Well, if you are willing to share this with us, I see no reason for us to refuse. I trust you agree, Bert? Very well. First of all, the man's claim of having the respect of his peers is no empty boast. Those who know our client speak quite highly of him as a man of integrity and honor. If there is one fault people find with him, as far as I have been able to glean, is that he can be a bit too serious for his own good. I see. That is most enlightening indeed. Thank you, Rodrigo. Enlightening indeed. Perhaps I misjudged you, my good man. At any rate, now that all three of us have the same knowledge at our disposal, what say we begin the contest in earnest? Let us do just that. Very well then. My colleagues now will require a bit of time to ponder the matter, friend. Pray leave us for a short while and return at your convenience. Ponder, 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 ponder. And we see we have the three things, and we speak with each of them, so we'll start with Astrid. Ah, you have returned. Curious as to what advice I intend to offer our lonely soul? I'd be happy to tell you. Put simply, he needs only expand his horizons. It is clear, both from talking to the man himself and from what others say of him, that he has a sterling reputation as a leader and a strong pillar of his community. And yet, precisely because he holds a position of importance and influence, it is likely not easy for him to find what he seeks at his place of employment. And yet, not having any real interests to speak of outside of his duties, our man's options are sadly limited. This is why I propose that he begin his search for his love among his clients, those who know him well enough to appreciate his strong character, though not so close as to make such engagement uncomfortable. A most inspired idea, do you not agree? I trust I can count on your support when we take our deciding vote. And talking to Bert. Well, if it isn't the adventurer from before. Want to be the first to hear Bert the Beloved's brilliant idea, do you? Ha! I'd be happy to oblige. So we're dealing with a man whose diligent devotion and distinguished with regard to his duties. On the other hand, because of this, some find him something of a one-trick chocobo, as it were. And so, as I see it, the answer is clear as day. He need simply find himself a new pastime. This would afford him an opportunity to go out and meet new faces and give him a fresh topic to broach with any special someone who strikes his fancy. As for what might be appropriate, but of course, what about woodworking? After all, there is nothing a young lady appreciates more than a man who's handy about the house, no? Talk about killing two zits with one stone. Oh, I can just feel the flames of passion beginning to spark and sizzle. I know not what silly plans my colleagues are proposing, but I can trust you to vote for the obvious choice, yes? But of course I can! And talking to Rodriel Gull, come to hear my insight, have you? Very well. I ask you, do you recall our friend's response when we asked him what manner of individual he fancies? Precisely. He gave no answer. A man who cannot answer such a simple query is a man who has lost sight of himself and what he truly seeks from life. That is why I intend to propose that our man spend some time at Stillglade Fan when he is off duty. By communing with nature, he might cast off his worldly worries and regain a sense of self, which in turn would afford him clearer clarity of his pursuit of love. As devoted as the man is to his training, I have no doubt he would find himself more than up to the task of silent self-reflection. Perhaps he might even discover a new side of himself that he never knew was there. For indeed, how can one hope to truly understand and love another if one is not at peace and understanding with oneself? Yes, surely this is the best course of action for our masked man. I thank you in advance for your vote of confidence, friend. And with that, we need to head back to the amphitheater. And as we can see, we have some decorations around the amphitheater. And because you can see them out here, we're just going to talk to Rodriel again. A meditation session or two at Stillglade Fan. Yes, this is clearly the one true path to future happiness for our lovelorn friend. Being the intelligent woman you are, surely you concur, yes? And Astrid over here. The man need only cast a wider net. I'm certain he'll find the true love he seeks in no time at all. Surely you agree with my proposal, yes? And Bert over here. A new pastime is clearly, undoubtedly what our man most needs, and there can be none better than carpentry. Today a new bench or table, tomorrow tryst with his new love. Why, I can just see the flames of passion kindling before my eyes. And so now we need to talk to Lisette, the Valentino person, Lisette. And welcome back to you, my partner in passion. I trust that my three associates have each proposed a plan worthy of emissary of ardor and affection. No doubt choosing between the three will be a trying task, and yet I have not but complete faith in your judgment. Choose the one you feel best embodies the spirit of Valentine's Day, and pray bring that individual to me. I shall be ever so tickled to see who you choose. Oh, but of course, there's one last thing. The preparations for the Valentine ceremony are at long last complete, and you're free to participate whenever your heart desires. It will be some time still before we render a decision as to who is most worthy to succeed me as emissary, so why not take the opportunity to enjoy the festivities in the meantime? I shall be oh so longingly waiting for your return, my dearest adventurer. And so, seasonal event instant unlocked. You now have access to the Valentine Ceremony seasonal instance to enter the venue, speak with the House Valentine's servant at Mikito's amphitheater. The Valentine's Ceremony is an instance designed for a party of 2. There are no class, job, or level requirements for participation. In the event that you register for the ceremony alone, your partner will be found via the matching system. The next Valentine's Day quest may be undertaken by speaking with one of the 3 aspiring emissaries, Astrid, Bert, or Rodrigo, all of whom await you in Old Rudonia. Astrid, Bert, and Rodrigo, if I said his name right. When you have decided which emissary must deserve your vote, seek them out and convey your support. And so you can see the House Valentine servant here, and if we were to participate, which we aren't, that is where you get the items needed to exchange over here to the House Valentine Purveyor of Love Made Person thing. And currently we don't have all of the options available until I talk to one of the people, but we have the prismatic heart left and the prismatic heart right, and a chocolate fountain, which is new to this event. And so we can talk to Astrid, Rodrigo, or Bert, and we'll note that the reward is a gear set, which can be dyeable, so it doesn't matter which you pick or vote for. If you end up voting for Rodrigo, for example, and you want to dye it to the yellow colors of Bert or the red colors of Astrid, you can do that. And the special website page kind of gives you the information for which one those are, and I will show those briefly. So as I mentioned, here's the special website for it, and I will provide the link for it in the description below. The 3 emissaries of Ardor V for your affection Valentine's Day seasonal event again starts Wednesday, January 29th, 2020, and this is specifically for North America, the time period. It'll be in GMT in Europe, and I'm not sure the time zone in Japan and elsewhere. But anyway, and then to Sunday, February 9th, and then the second part, which will be the results, will be from February 9th, immediately after, as you note the time period there, to Monday, February 17th. And again, it describes where the event starts, and it gives you the potential emissaries, and you may only vote once during the course of this quest. The vote will count in the world where it was completed. And then choose your emissary and show your colors with one of the 3 endearing sets of festive garb. So based on this, what it sounds like is that when you vote only on your specific world, will it be whichever winner? So it's not like a massive vote for everybody. So there's potentially 3 different endings, if you will. Anyway, so and it shows the gear for female adventurers and male adventurers for each of them, and their colors, and the items awarded upon completion of the quest will be determined by the gender of your character at that time. While you may only receive one set of attire, it can be dyed to resemble that of the other potential emissaries, and so it shows you Dalmud red dye for Astrid, Rodrigo's is authored blue dye, and Bert's is a million corn, whatever, yellow dye. And the results, votes will be counted separately for each world, as it said. I guess I should have just kept reading. Furthermore, the event will change as other players continue to cast their votes, the result of which will determine which additional quests can be accepted as they progress through the story. It is possible to accept or progress through subsequent quests on a world other than your home world. Please note, however, the results of voting will influence which quests can be accepted on your data center. As a result, rewards for quests that have been made unavailable cannot be obtained. And so the variety of items are available via the seasonal shop, and as I pointed those out, we also have the chocolate fountain here, as mentioned. And I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but I'm going with Rodrigo here, just because, and well, my main reason is because these 2 propose extending something that the client doesn't have time to commit to, because carpentry isn't something you just take up on a whim, and expanding horizons, again, whim. And as you might have seen me with me clicking there, it says, please note that once you accept this quest, you will be unable to accept quests a vote for Astrid and a vote for Bert. And furthermore, be aware that only votes cast during the designated voting period will count towards the final tally. And Rodrigo says, ah yes, I was expecting you. As a woman of reason, I trust you have to come to the logical conclusion. And here it gives you the options, and the same with Bert and Astrid, of what it is that you propose again, or I'd like to have a moment to think things over, or you have my support, and in this case we're going with you have my support. So here's the, well, it's a chest with the items and includes a helm, a chest piece, gloves, pants, and boots. Quadrillo eyes you with an expression of supreme self-assurance. Say no more, friend. You have chosen me as any rational thinker would. There is hardly need to elaborate further. Come along now. Lady Lisette is surely expecting us at Mikitos Amphitheater. You know the way, yes? I literally am right outside of it. I sure hope I'd know the way. Anyway, so talking to Lisette. Oh my god, Slytherin, anyone else might have been disheartened to see you stroll in with that self-important scholar instead of my dear sister. I, of course, remain ever impartial in this matter. Yeah. One vote for Rogel it is. No doubt his dispassionate deductions were most convincing. I can only hope that they satisfy our anonymous client, as well as to satisfy the man who dreamed them up. Mind you, it is far too early to declare the contest won. There are countless other adventurers and Gridanian citizens who have yet to weigh in after all. When the final results have been counted and compiled, pray speak with me anew. As an added incentive, it has been decided that once the victor is declared, the town will be redecorated with new ornaments of their choosing. Pray look forward to it, my dear friend. And with that, a vote for Rodrigo is completed. And just to open up this chest here as I move over here. As I said, in this case it's going to be blue, and as I mentioned, it will be these pieces. And of course I'm just going to display them, as you can see there. And I realized I didn't put the hat on. Haha. Anyway, so that's what the female attire looks like. And well, if we go back out here, we can see the attire for each. So the guy's clothing will look like that, the reds like that, and likewise with the yellow and the blue. But anyways, now that we have that cleared, we will now see that if we talk here, we can also exchange for more of the gear pieces. So if you wanted 3 sets, 1 for each of the colors, or whatever colors, considering there is tons of colors, you can get more of these. And of course, if your character is a female, you won't be able to buy the male character pieces, and vice versa. And there's no specific race type for those. But anyways, that's it for this video. The voting period, again, ends on Sunday, February 9th, and again, note the time. And the next part of this event will be Sunday, February 9th, right after the end of the vote period. So, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching!